So, heading back up to the park, I got myself some iced coffee and stuff, a little bit of drinks, beer. Obviously, I keep it so simple with the strong beers. It's good enough for me. I say that all the time. I'm sure you've seen that. But I just wanted to recap. I was about to start chapter 12, and it starts right off at the Four Seasons Hotel. I believe he left the suspect there, something like that. The investigator, or Coop, the main character, who's a female investigator, police officer, left one of the people in question at the Four Seasons Hotel. So I was just recapping because it's kind of cool about how basically they have got another suspect. And I'm trying to think, Sheffield, some dude named Omar Sheffield had recently died. He allegedly jumped in front of a train. So they're trying to figure that out and say it's probably not a suicide, it's probably a homicide. And they talk about how the train tracks used to be like, I believe, lower underground or something like that, or on the ground. And then they raised them to prevent, accidents. And it talks about how the area is very, very slum-like. I believe after the Civil War, they said they created those slums with a lot of gangs, a lot of violence, a lot of drugs, a lot of bad stuff like that. They're at the Four Seasons Hotel, I believe. I'm trying to think of the person's name. I just was reading it, but let me see. Caxton is the victim. I believe both of them, the male and the female, husband and wife. Sheffield is another guy who ends up allegedly jumping in front of a train. I don't know, Mike is the cop, Coop is the cop, a few other ones, and I'm just trying to remember the person in question this time. I just keep forgetting it. I think it's Chapman, I believe the person's name is, unless that's another character. I believe Loquesto and something else was the dogs' names that were involved in the previous chapters, but basically they got the guy, not the guy, but like another suspect, and they're asking him questions, interviewing him, and it's still a lot more background information about them being art dealers and creators and restorers, and Caxton in her younger days, where she married a man a lot older than her. Caxton was into the art, and she had a partner, I can't remember, I think it was Chapman, and they had a lot of dealings and stuff, a lot of talk about the art world, things like that. So so far, as you know, it may sound like I'm cheating these chapters, but I am doing my best to remember names. I think that's probably the least credit I should get, or most lacking, about remembering all the characters' names, even though there are several. And so, like I said, moving on to chapter 12, starts off with I believe one of the suspects or persons interrogating at the Four Seasons Hotel where they met up and stuff. And there was also talk about art exhibit, contemporary, that was strings tied up against a wall in a triangular shape, and they kind of making fun of it and saying, stuff like tacky art is too funny, stuff like that. So pretty cool so far. Chapter 12 next.